What is up, guys? Delboy here. I wanted to make a quick video previewing a fight that goes down on the 15th of August, and it's a fight that has gone under the radar, and it's a shame because potentially it could be a really good fight. I think stylistically both of these guys gel, and the fight is between the WBC bantamweight champion Shinsuke Yamanaka and the WBC #1 contender Luis Nery. Excellent fight. It is the typical established champion versus the hot prospect in the division. And like I said earlier, stylistically, both of these guys should gel well for a good fight. Firstly, Yamanaka. To me, the term underrated is used far too often in boxing. I hear it get applied to fighters who are not underrated at all. A lot of people talk about them. But Yamanaka to me is underrated because just his pure skill set all around. The thing is with Yamanaka, he's not particularly quick, but the things that set him apart are his distance control, his jab, and his timing. And also he's got a very awkward sort of herky-jerky movement and good footwork as well. And he's a very good counterpuncher. He understands the game of boxing. He's got a great boxing IQ. And we've seen that in a few fights of his. Like, for example, Anselmo Moreno and Liborio Solis are both guys who are quicker than him, who are more athletic. But his timing, his boxing IQ and his counterpunching nullified those guys. And Anselmo Moreno is a very good fighter. And, you know, the counterpunching and the timing of Yamanaka was too much for him to handle. And we remember Solis from fighting Jamie McDonnell. And if you recall, Solis won that fight but got robbed. Yamanaka beat Solis quite convincingly. Solis had his moments, as you would expect, because he's a world-class fighter. But Yamanaka done the job quite effectively. To me, Yamanaka's a guy who should be mentioned when we're talking about top 10 pound for pound. I'm not saying he has to be in the top 10 pound for pound list, but what I'm saying is he needs to be mentioned. And sometimes I hear guys make pound for pound lists and they don't even mention him. He's got some good wins on his resume. He beat Moreno twice. He beat Victor Archinian. He beat Thomas Rojas. You know, he beat Liborio Solis, as I mentioned. So he's got some good wins on the resume. And definitely a guy who deserves a little bit more attention from the Western boxing fans. He's a big star in Asia, but over here and in America, nobody really knows who he is, unfortunately. But to summarise, I think Yamanaka is a world-class fighter. He is the best bantamweight in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, he is the #1 guy in that division. His opponent is Luis Nery, coming out of Mexico. He is 23-0. He's only 22 years old, so inexperience could be a factor. But one thing we can say about Luis Nery is he is extremely, extremely aggressive. He likes to fight on the front foot and, you know, pressure burst pipes. That's his style. But he's not completely reckless like a Margarito or a Maidana. He does try and slip on the way in. He does try and block punches. He works the body well. He does some things well technically and some subtle little moves and defenses that he has, and he cuts the ring off quite well from what I've seen so far. And he carries a bit of pop as well. You know, he's had 23 fights with 17 stoppages. So he is coming into this fight with all the confidence of a young man and an unbeaten fighter and a hot prospect. He's got all that confidence going into this fight. He's never lost. Neither has Yamanaka, by the way, but Nery's coming into this fight really confident. But you have to look at his resume and go through it. Has he really fought anybody anywhere close to Yamanaka? And looking through his resume, I would have to say his best win, I would say, is David Sanchez. David Sanchez was an interim champion at super flyweight. But yeah, I mean, that's probably his best win, I'd imagine. But apart from that, he's not really beat anybody of any significance, kind of thing. So inexperience could be a big factor for Luis Nery. And even the stylistic matchup, I think it does favour Yamanaka. Yamanaka, as I said, is a counterpuncher, and Lewis Nery is extremely aggressive, and combine that with the inexperience, it could be potentially a recipe for disaster. I mean, I've seen some of Nery's fights online, and there was an early fight when he got dropped. So how good is Lewis Nery's chin? Is he durable enough? Because Yamanaka does hit fairly hard, and he's got great timing, like I said. So if Nery's trying to pressure him, and Yamanaka's finding home for that straight left and those sort of damaging counter shots, how is Nery going to deal with that? Is he going to get discouraged? He's never been in with that level of fighter, and if he's losing after a few rounds, how's he going to react? That's going to be the interesting question on Lewis Nery's part. But having said that, Yamanaka is at that age now where slippage will appear, and the aging process will kick in. And if that happens on August the 15th, Lewis Nery has the style that can bring that out and can really, really sort of accelerate that kind of thing. Because if Yamanaka comes into this fight past his best, then he is in for a world of trouble. Because Nery does set a high pace, he's extremely aggressive, like I mentioned. So if there's any signs of slippage, I think somebody like Lewis Nery is one of the worst type of fighters you could be in against. A young, hungry guy who wants to win his first world title on foreign soil is probably the worst type of opponent you can have in that situation. And I've not seen too many signs of slippage from Yamanaka. To me, he's always looked like the same guy. But when you get to the age he is, he's 34 years old. Once you get to that age at bantamweight, you can start to slow down. Having said that, Yamanaka is a guy who isn't really reliant on speed. He's not a speed merchant. So maybe the aging process won't affect a fighter like him quite as much, because he doesn't rely on athletic ability or speed. So maybe somebody like Yamanaka could be sort of the odd one out and age well in that division. We will see. I think this is a very good fight. It's a shame it's not televised in the UK, not that I can see anyway. I wish Box Nation would pick up some of these Asian cards, but for whatever reason they don't. I'll have to try and catch a copy of this on YouTube. But a tremendous fight. I'm looking forward to it. If I had to pick a winner, I would pick Yamanaka by stoppage. I think if Yamanaka is at his best, I think it could be potentially target practice in this fight. Just by the way Lewis Nery fights and the great accuracy and timing of Yamanaka, I would pick Yamanaka to win a late stoppage here. What do you guys think? I think this fight is a really good fight. It's gone under the radar, but I suggest you just mark it down, and when you can watch it, because I think it's going to be a good fight. What do you guys think? Peace.